Today, we have gathered the Skyrise Media Society team for the special interview to reflect on our journey, our growth, and our impact on the community. Skyrise was built on the idea that local voices matter, and our goal has always been to create a platform where diverse communities, especially Farsi-speaking residents, can stay informed, connected, and engaged. Today, we'll hear from our team about their experience, our achievements, and the vision for our future. Stay tuned. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our program. We have our Skyrise team here. Dr. Zohra Ansari, our board member. Hello, Dr. Zohra Ansari. And we have Puran Puragbal, one of our volunteer hosts, and Farshid Parang, one of our other hosts, and Ali Hayghatju, he's our cameraman and photographer. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm going to start with Zohra. Zohra, can you tell us about the Skyrise collaboration with different organizations and community members that Skyrise work with?
Good evening to everybody, and thank you for this opportunity, my dear. Basically, what we are doing, we are actively collaborating with numerous nonprofit organizations, and we are involving different community groups. Our goal is to try to bring the community together. We want to cover local news across Greater Vancouver and British Columbia. And during the time that we have partnered with various organizations that they host seminars. We document and broadcast the events to keep our audience informed about the importance of the civic issues that are happening in our city.
Very well. Thank you so much, Dr. Ansari. And Puran, can you share your experience with the Skyrise and your motivation behind focusing on working on violence against all genders? And why do you believe that this topic is very important?
I value this question because the gender-based violence is very prevalent, however, very hidden. And obviously, we know about the challenge of reporting gender-based violence, especially in immigrant communities. So I always look into how we can explore this concept. And through Skyrise Media Society, I find it an opportunity for our most vulnerable people, individuals, to be able that we can be their voice as they might not have the voice. And these programs is helping the local community in exploring subjects, stigma-related subject that needs to be talked about.
Very well. Thank you, Puran. And do you have any impact story that you want to share throughout the topics that you actually worked with the Skyrise?
Actually, the other day I had a person calling me saying that, oh, I realized that you talked about sexual abuse on TV. And yes, and I explained that, yes, this is a very hidden subject we don't usually talk about. And the person started to open up, saying that I have for years been a victim of sexual abuse. And this was a male, actually, person. I mean, although gender should not be the problem, however, gender-based violence exists. We know that, and this program had given him a reason for calling and talking about this, and be able to be connected to the local service providers. That was very appreciated by this person.
Very well, thank you. Now, if you guys don't mind, let's hear what Gaurav Kohli, he's one of our board members as well, to share his side of the story about how Skyrise has been expanding and the experience that he has with the Skyrise. So let's just hear from him.
Hello, I'm Garv Kohli, Director of Skyrise Media, and I also serve as a board member. Skyrise Media is the only Persian TV channel that's on all the social media platforms, as well as the Omni channel through Rogers Sports and Media, allowing us to reach a wider audience and make a greater impact. At Skyrise Media, we're all about producing high quality content for our communities. Our team is made up of passionate volunteers and journalists who work hard to serving our diverse audience, which includes Iranians, Turks, Afghans, Tajiks, and Kurds. We're committed to building and training dedicated volunteers and new journalists to keep providing valuable content to our viewers. Our dedicated team of journalists and volunteers work tirelessly to produce civic content promoting collaboration within our communities and its members. Looking ahead, we are committed to continuing our growth and enhancing our operations. Our unwavering dedication to building an organization on that focuses on serving our communities remains at the heart of everything that we do.
Thank you, Gaurav. Now, Ali, let's hear about you. Can you tell us about your experience working with Skyrise as a volunteer, a videographer, and photographer?
First of all, thank you so very much, Sharijan, Majid John, for the opportunity, of course. Well, this experience has given me an opportunity to learn about community-driven local media, of course, and develop teamwork skills that I'm going to have it for the rest of my life, of course. All about you and Majid, what I learned from you and Majid, of course, and the team, of course. So the training I received from Skyrise, Majid, and you, Sherry, has been invaluable in helping me like contribute more effectively to the community, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have it, as I said, for the rest of my life. So thank you.
Well, I can say that our team gets us stronger and stronger every day working as a
Absolutely,
team.
definitely,
Right,
definitely,
Zore? Because Zore and I will start from the beginning, and we know that our team is growing, and we're actually having a dedicated team
definitely.
working together. Now, let's hear about Samira, one of our other volunteer hosts. Samira, as a volunteer host, she's started working with our youth in the community, so let's hear about her.
My experience with Skyrise Media as a volunteer host has been incredibly rewarding. It has given me the opportunity to engage with civic issues, amplify important voices, and bring awareness to topics that matters, especially in mental health, diversity, and advocacy. Local media is essential because it connects communities, highlights underrepresented voices, and provides a platform for meaningful discussions. With my focus on youth and next generation, I see local media as a powerful tool for education and empowerment. It helps young people stay informed, feel heard, and engage in conversations that shape their future. Skyrise Media has already demonstrated a strong commitment to engage youth by creating a space where their voices are valued and their perspectives shape important discussions. Through its covers of civic issues, mental health, and social advocacy, it has empowered youth people to participate in meaningful conversations and become active contributors to their communities. By providing accessible and relevant content, Skyrise Media not only informs youth but also inspires them to take initiative, develop leadership skills, and advocate for change. In an era where young people are seeking platforms that truly represent them, local media plays a crucial role in fostering a sense of belonging and agency. It ensures that next generation is not just listening, but also being heard, helping them build a more inclusive and engaged society.
Thank you, Samira. Now, Farshid, it's your turn now. Farshid, let us know about your experience as a volunteer host with Skyrise Media and Parvas TV.
ممنونم شری جان و مجید عزیز. همینطور که میدونین همیشه آرزوی ما این بوده که با باکس جادویی تیوی آشنا باشیم و من خوشحال بودم از این ترینی که داشتم و با کامیونیتی که در ارتباط باشم که به خصوص در مورد استان بی سی در ونکوور که خیلی مطرح و معروف هست به جهت اینکه بیاد پیشرو باشه در صنعت تکنولوژی و علم و حتی جلوتر از زمان بخواد بهتر از مدیا مثل اینستاگرام یا فیسبوک عمل بکنه و بیننده های زیادی رو به سمت خودش جذب بکنه و من خوشحالم از این نوع همکاری.
Very well. Thank you so much, Farshid. Zura, can you tell us these past 2 years that we've been, organizing events, collaborating with other organizations? Do you have any impact story that you want to share with us?
Of course. To start with, we were not sure how many people are going to join us. And down the road, we had this lovely family, I could call them, everybody who joined us in this team. And each one of them is like a treasure, is like a gem. And one of the stories that I can tell you is about after you you and Majid went and had a visit on Hastings Street. And a couple of people contacted me and they said this was amazing. And we never thought that somebody will go so vastly to open to public a problem that is underlying in the society.
Yeah, you mean the
And
homelessness program?
yes,
Yes.
right. And that was like it was like a bright light in my heart that looks like the skyrise is really rising. I love it.
Yeah, the name is on it, right? Skyrise Media. Let's hear about you talked. Yes, thank you. And you talked about Majid. Let's hear what Majid has to say. Now, Majid, we want him to talk about the distribution and also the impact that the Skyrise had in the community. So let's hear what Majid has to say.
When a TV show is produced, it's like a product that needs to reach its audience. At the Skyrise Media Society, we are so lucky to share our content on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and also YouTube channel. We also have Omni channel, which is weekly broadcasting show in BC, and we can share our all content there. Our goal is to make sure our content available to everyone, no matter where they are. That's why we also sometimes using live stream to reduce time and location barriers. We sometimes hear from our audience that they enjoy our show and they even want to become part of the show for our future episode. That's why we feel we become community's voice step by step, and we are connecting with them.
Thank you, Majid. And Majid is actually working as a technical support, so he won't be able to join us right now. But I'd like to ask this story to Ali because Ali been with us for a long time as well. Ali, tell us the impact that we have in the society, and what do you think? And do you have any a story to share?
Well, if I'm going to talk about the story, it's going to be so many. So, because I know you guys for the past like 24, 25 years, right? So, I start when I start with the media, I could say by the meaning of it, it was you, Majid, and somebody else. Those two were taking care of the like camera and stuff. And I learned about photography and videography, of course, from Majid a lot, right? But stories, I remember so many times. I remember that most of them, when you had the multicultural channel, was that on Shaw, I believe, if I don't forget.
Yes,
I don't
that's
remember
right. Yeah.
exactly what was that, but
Yeah. We were
most of the times, as
multicultural.
soon
Yeah.
as they start, yeah, the multicultural. As soon as I was talking to like so many, and then they show me most of the time. So, oh yeah, I know this guy. I know working with the Shaw cable. They said with the Shaw
At
cable. I
that
was like,
time, we
I'm
were
not
Shaw.
working with the
Yeah.
Shaw. I'm not working with the Shaw. I'm working with Parvas TV. So, and most of them were waiting for the program because it was like once a week, I believe, if I don't remember.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like once a week, maybe like an hour or so. But
We started
most
at
of the
once a
time,
week in an hour, and then it was 3 hours per
three
week, and then we
hours,
were
and then
5 times a week at the
five.
end.
Yeah.
But now that
By
we've
the
actually,
time,
we're now with
yeah,
omni-channel,
it
so.
was most of them. As soon as I talked to most of them, like I was in Coquitlam that time, and then as soon as I start talking to like community members, they said we're waiting for the program because it wasn't no satellite, nothing by the meaning of it that time, right? So, but it was
Yes.
really great of them.
Well, you're one of our dedicated volunteers, and we are very
Thank you,
appreciate having you in our board.
thank you,
Right, Zore?
thank you. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure.
Now,
Absolute
Farshid,
pleasure.
let's hear one of your stories that it has impacted your audiences. The stories that you have with your program.
به گمانم میاد که همیشه یک رسانه میتونه بسیار کمک بکنه به مردمی که از کالچر و آرت اون مردم بیخبر هستن یا اگر هم به فراموشی رفته و به مهاجرانی که در واقع تشریف میارن به یک مرز و بوم دیگری با همه دنیای جدیدی روبرو میشن و بیزینسی رو در واقع میخوان شکل بدن و چالش هایی که در اون بیزینس دارن، حالا در هر زمینه مختص به خودش، از هنر گرفته تا تکنولوژی های مختلف. به همین جهت همیشه پیرو خط مسیر تلویزیون هایی بودم و هستم، به خصوص تلویزیون پرواز که از بهترین هاست در استان بی سی و کمک میکنه و راهنمایی میکنه مهاجرانی رو که اگر با چالش هایی روبرو هستن و اونها رو با هنر، فرهنگ و بیزینس روبرو میکنه.
Thank you, Farshid. Well said. Now let's hear about what Farzan Kermani has to say about his experience with the Skyrise Media. So let's hear from him.
We need to expand because our work goes beyond the Iranian community. To reach more people and cover news in different cities, we need a bigger team. Working as a graphic designer at Skyrise has given me great experience in media editing, production, and even hosting in front of the camera.
Thank you, Farzan, for sharing your experience. Now, we have another volunteer, a dedicated volunteer host, Mr. Muhammad Ahmadi. He also has some experience with the Skyrise that he wants to share. Let's listen to him.
در خصوص تأثیرات اسکایرایز مدیا سوسایتی باید بگم که ببینید رسانه ها همیشه در فلسفه وجودیشون در خصوص تأثیراتی که بر جامعه هدف دارن این هست که اولین قدمشون دادن اطلاعاته. این اطلاعات باید 3 ویژگی داشته باشه: 1 درست باشه، 2 روشن باشه و 3 جامعیت داشته باشه. درست بودن یعنی دروغ نبودن، یعنی راست بودن خبر، فیک نباشه. 2 روشن بودن یعنی که شفاف اون چیزی که هست رو بیان کنه بدون هیچ ابهامی. و آخرین مورد جامعیت هست. جامع بودن یعنی کامل بیان کنه، نه اینکه نصف رو بگه نصف رو نگه در حالا قالب‌های خبر، مصاحبه، گزارش یا هر آیتم دیگه. بنابراین وقتی که این پروسه انجام بشه در بعد ایجاد اطلاعات بر اساس این 3 ویژگی میتونیم وارد مرحله بعدی بشیم. یعنی توی یک کامیونیتی وقتی که اطلاعات به این صورت و با این سه ویژگی ارائه بشه از طرف رسانه، میرسیم به مرحله هوشیاری. یعنی بعد از آگاهی بخشی میرسیم به هوشیاری بخشی. افراد نسبت به جایی که دارن زندگی میکنن هوشیار میشن، آگاه میشن و میتونن بهتر تصمیم بگیرن و میتونن راحتتر زندگی کنن و میتونن در جامعه میزبان بهتر عملکرد بهتری داشته باشن. و بعد از هوشیاری هست که با جامعه میزبان میتونن مشارکت کنن. یعنی 3 مرحله: آگاهی بخشی، هوشیاری یا هوشیاری بخشی و بعد مشارکت. و وقتی که مشارکت انجام بشود، اون فرد در اون جامعه دیگه به عنوان یک شخصی است که مسئولیت داره و نسبت به خودش و جامعه خودش، حالا خواه وطنش باشه یا وطن دومش باشه. بنابراین مسئله سوم مشارکت و بعد از مشارکت مرحله 4 توسعه است. یعنی در همه ابعاد، چه در حوزه لوکال، چه در حوزه احوالات شخصی و در حوزه مسائل جمعی، اون فرد توانایی خودش رو به عرصه ظهور میرسونه و در اون جامعه میتونه مثمر ثمر باشد. تأثیری که میتونیم از Skyrise Media Society داشته باشیم.
Thank you, Mohammed. Now, I want to ask Puran, because Puran, you've been working with the Skyrise almost for 2 years now as a volunteer host. And you have heard so many stories, like people calling you and asking you to come into your show. Can you share some of that stories, and how come people reach out to you and say, hey, Puran, I want to be in your show. I want to, talk about this, specific topic that is very civic in our community?
You know what? Let me take the time and mention that actually I have known you and Majid and Parvaz TV for 20 years. I recognize that today when I was thinking back in 2004 or 5, I think that was the first time I kind of got to know you. And over the years, I have been watching Parvaz TV and checking the programs. I was always thinking, oh my God, we need more and more of this type of programs. Because of what? Because media has been highly censored in our home country, and here the immigrant community, as we are, we need proper programs to be kind of be able to see what's going on there. One thing that I'm very glad that we have been doing, the inclusion of the indigenous communities. And I have done some interviews, and you have done some interviews, and we have invited indigenous communities to our seminars that we have done. And that kind of connection has kind of is a spiritual thing for me, valuing that we are actually living in the indigenous land, and being connected to the owner of this land. Kind of we are asking for permission and to be blessed. So one thing that I can say is that I'm working with a number of indigenous individuals through my other job, which I'm a psychotherapist, right? And when they hear that we Persian community, we have interest to get to know them better, and kind of we have interest at Parvaz TV and Skyrise Media to introduce this beautiful culture of indigenous culture to the Persian community. They get excited and saying, oh my God, how come you didn't know about us? But we didn't know, of course, and people who are coming, new immigrants, they don't know. So that's why we are doing these interviews, which is beautiful.
Well, I just want to thank you all. Before we go, I want to ask our last question to our board director, Zore Ansari. Zore, why local community media is important to have?
A great question and hard to answer. In the world today, we hear news from all over, and usually the news are in a way that is amusing or triggering, and it is from all around. A lot of them are not documented. A lot of them might be a little bit too much to absorb, and I should say that Quran really put it well. There are communities like indigenous that are here, but they don't know how they can speak. They need a tribune. They need somebody to broadcast them so that they can talk. That's
We
number
could be their
one.
voice, right?
Exactly. And number two is that a lot of us are fearful of the media. Going to the to people, talking about their problems, letting them know that that this media, Skyrise, is from them, for them, not against them, and is not going to cheat.
That's right.
That's very important.
Well, it's a bridge gap like between the communities, and we can bring the gaps together and then as a community work together. I wanted to thank you as a LJI journalist, each one of you guys, that your dedication and working hard with the Skyrise Media is very, very appreciated from all board members and myself, which I work with LJI and Cactus, and also Majid works as an LJI with Cactus. It is very important that we come together and say that community TV is very important because we are the one who bring the voices of the community and raises all the civic important issues that is mattered in our community, which big news medias do not cover those. So we are playing a big role as a community media. Now, for the audiences at home and our viewers at home, if you have any comments or if you have any thoughts, please email us at the Skyrise Media Society at gmail.com. Your comments are very important to us. And if you would like to join us as a volunteer, please also email us. We would like to interview as a volunteer and see what you can do with the Skyrise Media Society to have this team, as Zora said, like a family to get bigger and grow. Until next time and next interview, my name is Sherry Soltani along with our dedicated team. Goodbye and have a good evening.